How's it going, tiny little hot dog cuties? Ben here, and today I am officially 3 months on testosterone. But that's not the point of this video, but let's give each other a round of applause for getting this far into my transition. Thank you guys so much for following me in this journey. Hope you guys stick around for much more in the future. But no, let's talk about the serious thing, guys. Today I want to talk about how I've been struggling in medical school and how I got myself out of that rut. And a lot of medical school slash medicine slash pre-med centered YouTubers tend to focus a lot on studying tips, how to do well, good things that happen in medical school. I have seen a couple talk about the downs, but I want my channel to reflect everything in my life, which means the highs and the lows. And I technically don't like to categorize my channel as like a pre-med slash medical school channel, mainly because my channel, I consider it something that I love to do and show you guys parts of my life. So it's more of a lifestyle channel slash vlog. I hate calling it vlog, but it's not. But I like sharing my life with you guys, sharing my knowledge, sharing my love of science and medicine with you guys. But I want to highlight everything in my life and more to you guys, and you guys can disagree or agree with my opinions that I share, but I welcome all opinions on my channel. But today I want to talk about how I've been struggling in my second block in medical school. And a lot of you guys may be thinking, Ben, you're incredibly smart. What does struggling actually mean for you? But to be honest, guys, I genuinely struggled in this block. The first block, I killed it, knocked it out of the park. I mean, you guys saw my video on reflecting on the first month of medical school. That's when I was in my first block, and I was doing great. I was like knocking it out of the park, having a great time in school. And then I kind of hit a rut, and unfortunately in medical school, a lot of our peers and classmates don't really like to vent to one another, and I find this environment to be so detrimental to the mental health of our classmates. I remember telling one of my closest friends, who I'm very open with, that, man, I am struggling so much. And she is like, you're not the only one. A lot of people are struggling, but everyone's afraid to tell each other that they're struggling because they're so focused on trying to come off as smart, as competent. They don't want to come off looking dumb, like people questioning their legitimacy in being here. And to be honest, guys, imposter syndrome is super real. Like, I constantly, there has to be at least one time a day where I think, what did I do to deserve this? What did I do to come to medical school? I'm not smart. I'm not Einstein. I haven't won a Nobel Prize yet. I mean, like, it's things that we're constantly worried about, and we're afraid to tell our classmates because we think our classmates are smarter than us, so we don't want to come off as incompetent or weak. And it's a struggle, guys, and I want to break that. But at the same time, I know it's not going to be broken. I know that's like an intrinsic human thing, not to share our woes with the people closest to us. That's why I'm making this video. For anyone right now watching this video who have struggled in something and are struggling right now, if you're in medical school, if you're pre-med and you're thinking about medical school, and think about this video. Come back to this video when you're struggling, because you aren't the only one. You're not the only one struggling. People struggle, and I definitely struggled in my second block in medical school. And this is yet another reason why I haven't been posting as regularly in the last 2 months, because I was trying so hard, guys, to catch up to my peers. I was trying so hard to pass my tests, and it's been really rough, guys. But good news is that in the end, I figured out my game plan, and I knocked the finals out of the park, which made me have a pretty decent grade at the end of the semester, and I passed with flying colors, and I did great. And I want to share my struggle with you guys, my story, so that when you guys are struggling, you guys can look back at this and be like, yeah, I gotta find my fire too. So let's talk about my timeline. After my first block around September, I really knocked that block out of the park. It was no sweat for me. I was doing great. I was doing amazing, and I felt amazing. And I thought the strategy that I was using in my first block, I could transfer it over to the second block, and I'll be fine. I don't have to worry that much. I know my rhythm. I know what I have to do. I'm gonna do great, and I'm gonna knock the second block out of the park. Unfortunately, that's where I made my biggest mistake, because unlike undergrad, unlike high school where everything is static, once you know the strategy, it's all good, it's all real, it's all easy. You can knock things out of the park. Medical school is not static. Medical school is dynamic, guys. It's constantly changing. Each block is completely different from another block. That's why you hear things like some people really do super, super, super well in one block and then completely bomb the next block. And I was about to do something like that too. And luckily, near the end, we're going to talk about that later, I was able to fix that. But in the beginning, I was using the same tricks, the same methods that I was using in the first block. And 6 weeks later, after the first exam, I completely bombed it. I failed it. I failed that exam. I was barely passing. Like, I was like 2 points from passing that exam. And that took a huge blow to my self-confidence. I was like, oh my God, I've been doing everything right. I've been studying so much. Why am I not doing well? Why am I not doing well? What happened? Am I getting lazy? Have I been partying out too much? Like, because I was going out every weekend and having some fun with friends, but it wasn't excessive. But at the same time, I was so bewildered by what happened. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I failed this exam. And, you know, it hit me so hard. I was talking to my friends and they did well. And the biggest problem that I had, guys, is that my friends, they actually struggled in the first block. They knew what the struggle was in medical school. I had a very strong science background, so the first block was super easy for me. And I thought, like, medical school is no sweat. I can handle this. Like, I just do the same strategy I have been using since undergrad. But my friends actually felt the burn in the first block and learned better strategies to prepare for future exams and get ready for future exams. But me, I got too comfortable. I was way too comfortable, and that's why I bombed the first exam. So for the second exam, I was like, okay, Ben, you got to get it together. We're going to do the same strategy we have been doing for the first block and the first exam. But we're going to do that strategy harder. And that was my second biggest mistake. I'm not dynamic. I'm still staying static. And I'm thinking if I go double down on what I have been doing already, I'll do great on that exam, on the next exam. And guess what, guys? 4 weeks goes by and I bombed that test again. I bomb it again. And this one was just... it was so bad, guys. My self-confidence had gone down to a really low self-esteem. And I felt so bad. I felt like poop. I wanted to, like, cry. And to be honest, guys, there was one... I remember being so upset a couple of weeks after that exam that something bad happened and I just broke down. I couldn't handle it. I was just so stressed. There was so much at stake. For me, what I had to do on that third exam, I had to knock that exam out of the park. If there was any chance in me passing that block. And I know I needed to pass that block because if I didn't, I would have to repeat it in the summer. So I broke down, but then I am so glad I have the greatest friends around me, guys. I don't have that many friends. I don't want to make it seem like I have like a billion friends around me who are constantly supporting me. I have 1 to 3 very close friends that I can vent to, and luckily they supported me. They told me I could do it. Find those people. And if those people are not there physically, find people online. I know people make a huge deal, parents make a huge deal about having real friends. But if you don't have anyone near you who's supporting you, find them through the internet somewhere else, because you're going to find those people. You're going to find people wherever you are. Because I remember growing up, I didn't really have many people I could connect to as a young queer immigrant in the school I was growing up in, and that's where I found solace. I found solace in people that I've never seen their faces. Those are the people that kept me going, that kept me alive, that kept me striving for success. So after the second test bombing, my friends really helped me get back up on my feet, and I was like, you know what? We're gonna dismantle the entire strategy. We're not gonna double down 3 times in a row or anything like that. We're gonna take an entirely new approach to this block. And guys, that was the best decision I ever made. And the only way that I was able to think myself, to wire my brain around creating a new strategy, is thinking about why I'm there in the first place. Because when my self-confidence went down and after the first test bombing, I started to doubt myself. I started to think I wasn't good enough. I started to think that, what, medical school? Why did I even sign up for this? Why did I even sign up to become a doctor? Like, who am I trying to impress? But you have to reel that. You have to reel that back in, guys, and you have to think, the reason why I'm here is because there are people out there that need me. My community needs me. I grew up in a community where most people don't even have the chance to go to college. And I'm letting those people down. And I'm letting myself down. I want to become a doctor so I can help people. And I had to think about that. I had to think about letting my parents down, who basically got rid of everything they had just so they could come to America. I was letting my sister down, who has a chronic illness, who always wanted to be in the healthcare field and now can't be in the medical field. I was letting so many people down. I was letting my partner down, who had been supporting me the last 5 years. I had to think about all of that, and I let that fuel fire me. I started going online. I started asking friends, what's your strategy? How have you been doing well in these exams? And I found this new strategy. And it was working, guys. It was working. And I was going hard. I was going hard over and over again. I remember. During finals week, 3 weeks ago, I went 2 days without any sleep. Not the day before the exam. Remember, we talked about that. We had that video about not pulling all-nighters. But I went 2 days without sleep. Not back to back. Like, it was in between 3 days. But not the day before the exam. Just so that I could get every single strategy down that I had been planning. And guess what, guys? I knocked it out of the park. I passed my mini boards. And not just passed, I did super well on my mini board. And God, guys, it's been a struggle. It's been a real struggle, and I'm really enjoying this last week and a half of break. And I know right now, going into my next block in the next year, I may have to make a new strategy. I may have to try something different. But I'm not being static anymore, and I'm not letting my lack of self-confidence get me down to a level where I lose confidence in myself, so that I start slacking, so that I start not looking into new perspectives on doing better at school. I want to keep that fire that I have in me, and I'm not letting that fire go down. I love you guys. I hope this video has been helpful, and I hope you guys, when you're struggling, can find that fire within yourselves to do well and to kill whatever it is that you're trying to kill, because you guys can do it. I believe in you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share this video, follow me on my social media links, Instagram and Twitter. Links are down in the description below. This is Ben, and I'll see you on the next one.